Hey, Shalom, Markings with Karma Kapash from James London, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakwadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the whole Fredets, pushing his truth and all sincerity. Back again with another video. Got this article here, or this news, this tweet, okay, from Disclosed TV, and it reads as just in, FDA approves Neuralink to launch its first inhuman clinical study. All right, and we've been telling you that this RFID chip technology, is being progressed further and further and faster, right? And that eventually it's going to make its way inside the bodies of men and women, children all around the world, right? Because it's part of biblical prophecy, right? All attached to the prophecy in Revelations 13 and 16, concerning the mark, the MOTB, and now it's been approved for human clinical studies, right? So Neuralink is Elon Musk's venture, right? So he's practiced on chimps, I think, pigs maybe. I know some of there's a few other companies working on this type of technology where they put chips in people's brains, for the so-called purpose of healing illnesses concerning the brain, functions and all that kind of stuff, right? They think they can or they're telling people that they can eradicate certain illnesses and give sight and movement to to people and that kind of stuff. All right, so on the face of everything, it sounds good. It sounds like this technology benefits mankind, everything like that, right? But this is not how this tech is going to be used. I mean, not to say that they ain't been using it to do these certain things, because there's evidences that they have done, but its main purpose of its existence, this technology, is to fulfill the prophecy in Revelation 13, right? For the elites to cause the world, right? Let's just get it, right? Let's just get it, right? Revelations 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? This mark is something inserted, okay, into their hand, to the right hand, or in their foreheads, right? Something that's put inside you, right? And this hits the criteria of this prophecy, right? With these C hips being put in people's brains in their foreheads, right, and in their hands, right? The hand C hip has been out there for a while, and obviously these brain ones have been experimenting with, or developing for a long time too, right? And now they're meeting their for lack of better words, acceptance, their global acceptance, to be used and to be produced out there for the masses to take, right? And it's going to come to a point real soon where this is going to be a suggestion in the near future that people are going to have to take these C hips, right, in the guise of safety, for security, and whatnot, right? So that time's coming soon, and like I said, they're getting approvals and stuff like that. So you're going to see these technologies, kind of speed up and make their presence known. Obviously, these hand ones, they're going to be more acceptable in the minds of the people, right, to take than the brain ones, and but nevertheless, people are going to be taking both, because the prophecy states so, right? And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, and it's all these global organizations that are pushing these types of agendas, all right? The WF, the WHO, the UN, and all these large corporations or organizations that are run by these elites. Okay, they're gonna push these agendas on the people, right? So he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? Because we know they're getting, they're doing away with all the the cash in this old system that exists currently. I know it's going to be replaced by CBDCs, okay, this digital currency, right? And it's going to be the medium that's going to be used to do these transactions is going to be these CHIPs, man. So you're going to require that to be able to do these transactions, to be able to buy and sell, because cash won't do it no more. The old conventional ways is going to be gone. So it's going to be a requirement that you have these, enabled to do, to make these transactions. All right. So like I said, these things are being approved now. The interesting thing about this tweet though, someone else put up something else in here, right? This guy called Prozac, right? He put up an article from BlackRock. BlackRock got their own newer tech thing going on, right? So let me just open this. All right, this is BlackRock Neurotech, a subsidiary of the investment management corporation BlackRock, has developed brain-computer interfaces (BCIs) that have already been successfully implanted in over 50 people. Right, so apparently they've already had their approval, right, and they've successfully implanted in over 50 people. Right, it's the same with the whole thing in Scandinavia and Sweden and them type of places with these guys, walking around with C-hips in their hands, opening doors and paying for things and keeping medical records and train tickets and that kind of stuff. These are like the guinea pig groups that are being used, man, to accept world adoptants. To get people used to the idea of these things being inserted into your bodies. All right, and like I said, the time's going to come where an extreme situation is going to come. Okay, that these elites are going to be engineering, right? That is going to force you to adopt this idea and take this C-hip, man, because you're not going to have many options, man. All right. So it says the neural port array chip, which features 96 implanted microchips, is capable of reading and writing electrical impulses in the brain. By monitoring and decoding the wearer's thoughts, the device can control robotic limbs, wheelchairs, and even restore feeling. Now, this stuff could all be reversed too, right? Input output, you reverse. Just an equation, right? That these guys are working on, man. So you have to control these types of things and create these signals in your body, right? Now, the first thing that came to my mind, yeah, was these couple movies, right? Because it said, what's it say? It says the monitoring and decoding the wearer's thoughts, right? So he can decode thoughts, right? So that means he can get this reminds you of Minority Report, right? This reminds you of Elysium, where they know what you're thinking or they know what they're feeling. And I think even the fucking, who was that dude, man? I don't know if it was Harari or another one of these goons, right? That said, wouldn't it be good if we can, if I can connect to you, that I can know how you're feeling, how you're feeling and what you're thinking, kind of thing, and they can all be connected. Some goofy dude said that, must be from the WF or something like that, right? It might have been Schwab, but they want to know what you're thinking, man, right? And I said that precognition in a Minority Report, man, they were arresting you before you did any crime, pre-crime, right? In Elysium was the same. The robots could tell whether he was getting aggressive and that kind of. Do I sense aggression or all this type of stuff? And they'll fuck you up, Yeah, because if they can do all that, then yeah, why not? Why can't they use it for that too? And this is the thing, like all this technology that he's sort of bringing now has a double-edged sword, that double-edged effect to it, right? On one hand, yeah, it could be used for the good stuff, and it could restore movement to your limbs and all this kind of business. It could give you sight again or whatever. Yeah, it could do all that. And for some, it will do that because the man pay money for it or whatever. These guys that are, these experimental treatments. Because this is how they started off with experimental treatments. They might not have to pay for it, but they want to see it basically if it works, innit? So they got guinea pigs out there doing that. But that type of service, man, if that becomes like a proper thing and that's like a proper treatment, you think that's going to be cheap? bro, the only people that are gonna have really access to that are the elites, right? That can afford that type of shit. All right, it's not really for the poor. It's not really. It's not gonna be on the NHS. You know what I'm saying? Free service. It ain't gonna be like that, man. Right? So yeah, they might get the benefits of that side of it. Yeah, great for them, right? But on the flip side, on the other side, right? They can do all this other stuff, control, right? Which is what really Esau wants this technology for control, right? Like I said, if you can figure out what you're thinking, and if you're planning on doing something, man, they can just put your ass in prison and put you to death, or whatever, man. You're going to be wanting to live in that equilibrium world where you got to take drugs to suppress your fucking emotions, just so you don't get put in prison. And this is what it is. This world's going to be. This world would be if Esau could rule, right? You'd have you strung up on drugs for the rest of your life, man, in a docile state. you know. So that's what I was thinking about, man. And I said that's they're capable of doing that if they're able to decode the wearer's thoughts, right? So the device can control robotic limbs. It means he can actually, effectively he could control you with that physically, because he's allowing it that you are able to control your limbs through the thing. But guess what? All it is signals. All they have to do is run interference, man. Or or you could just turn your shit off now. You ain't got your legs again. you know. And I know it sounds nefarious. I'm making it sound crazy, right? But bro, these are the type of people that we're dealing with, man. We're dealing with Esau, the devil, man. We're dealing with these elites, man, and they don't know no bounds, man. Right? It says the device can control robotic limbs, wheelchairs, and even restoring feeling. However, as with any rapidly developing technology, there are concerns we should all have about the impact of BCIs on society. As the technology advances, there's a potential for BCIs to be used for purposes beyond medical treatment, such as enhancing cognitive abilities or de-enhancing them, or even military applications, universal soldiers out there, right? Additionally, there are questions about the ethical implications of implanting microchips in the brain and the potential for misuse of personal data. As AI technology continues to advance, the potential application of BCIs in treating memory and mental health problems like anxiety and depression could be enormous. Yeah, because that's a big thing in this era that we're living in. Fucking anxiety and depression. It tells you, man. It shows you this world ain't fucking right. Right? Why, if the world is so great, why are we as a people suffering from all this bullshit, man? Constantly. Something ain't right, man. But they want you to take drugs and make you just forget about it, try and forget about it and pretend everything's gravy. Now this world is wicked, man. It needs to be destroyed, man. All right. Let's see. All right, so that's he's put that. I thought it was interesting, right? So let's just grab some scriptures, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 14 says, "No marvel, for Satan himself." Jump up, right? Verse 13. "For such are false apostles, deceitful workers," and this is just a work of deceit. I say on the surface they make it sound like they're building technology to help mankind, and this is how they've always put themselves, man. Because otherwise, why would you want these people over you, man, if they weren't trying to do good for you, right? So they always like they're trying to help the planet, help the people, and stop suffering in the world, starvation and droughts and shit. You know what I mean? But it's not really what they're doing, right? So deceitful workers transforming themselves into apostles of the anointed, right? And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. So Satan looks like the good guy right now in this world because he's postured himself and put himself in that position so that people look at him like that. Okay, this so-called white man, the pure man, right? He's glorious. He's so righteous, and he's trying to do the right thing. I mean, he had a bit of a dip. He had a bit of a dip, right? During the slave trade, he had a bit of a dip, but he's trying to do the right thing. I mean, after all, he let his, he took the chains off, right? So he's all right. He ain't that bad, right? Right. So he's postured himself as the righteous in the planet, but he's really just the devil, and he has devilish ideas, and he has devilish agendas that he wants to fulfill. right? But this, he has to put on his acts to deceive the people, and that's the whole point of the devil. The word, the word devil means deceiver. All right, so that's the whole point. He's supposed to blindside the people, right? So, you know, on one hand, he's like he's giving you something good, but on the other hand, man, he's looking to smack you up, man. All right. So, anyways, verse 15 says, "Therefore, it is no great thing that if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to the works." So, really, the works is gonna, be manifested what they were really doing, right? But these guys, Elon and these guys, in these fucking science labs or whatever, right? Or running these science labs, they're just wicked, And like I said, I even believe that, in these corporations, you got people working for them, right? They don't know no fucking better. They think they're here to save the fucking world. They might have noble ideas and sincere feelings or what it is that they're doing there, but they don't run shit. They're laborers, they're workers, man. They don't run shit, man. You're working for this corporation, man. These corporations are the devil, right? And these people running it are the devil. All right. So it don't matter what intentions that you had, thinking that you're gonna help people. Well, yeah, that shit gonna get flipped. All right, it's gonna get flipped. All right. This is Sirach chapter 12, verse 10 says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away." So, like I said, this so-called white man, he postures as the righteous, postures himself as a God-fearing man, and all this kind of rubbish, right? He's really the same devil he's always been. It doesn't matter what suit he puts on, or what smile he puts in your face, what words that he says, right? He's through and through the devil, right? He just knows how to deceive. That's it, right? They're powerful tools, man, to the uninitiated, right? Deception, right? It's these people are fooled by the gimmicks, okay? But the elect are not fooled, man. The elect can't be deceived, okay? It says, "Let him not buy thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And that thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will put you a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast?" Right? Because you're being warned that this is the nature of this man, that he's just a beast, right? A ferocious beast, and yet you're gonna treat him like he like a puppy, man, like he a pet. You're gonna have him close to you. You're gonna praise him. You're gonna pet him. You're gonna give him love and attention, man. This guy is gonna fucking rip your throat out, man. Okay, he's gonna rip your fucking throat out because that is his nature, man. He's there to kill, right? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee in a pit, right? So it's just, he says these things to gain position on you, to get you into position that he can take advantage of. And that is what Esau's doing, right? So he's giving you the stories about healing the lame and giving sight to the blind and all this kind of stuff. He's giving you those stories, man. That's where he wants you to think about this technology. He wants you to feel comfortable with it. And he wants to make anyone that thinks of like us, like there's nefarious purposes for them. They want us to sing crazy, obviously, right? That's what they want. They don't want to associate done this with the scriptures. They're just nuts. Anyone that believes is just nuts, man. This is going to help people. This is going to help the world. What's that got to do with the MOTB? They want us to sing crazy, but whatever, man. That's the whole spiel. That's the whole idea. He shall deceive many. All right, that's the whole point. He's going to deceive you. So yeah, you can't trust the word this devil says. He's going to tell you these things, right? So, but in his heart, imagine if he had to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he's looking for the opportunity, the right timing. He will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Right? Everything that he does is to undermine the people. Right? To fulfill his agenda. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Once he's comfortable, Once he feel like he got a grip on things and he got the people where he wants him, he don't have to pretend. You don't have to pretend anymore. That how he's the good guy. You don't have to pretend no more. He can just be the bad guy because it don't matter no more. Because ain't no one can do shit about it anyway. In Psalm 64 verse 6, it says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, right? So they man do all this research and be testing for years, and they even set up governing bodies to affirm it, to confirm they're safe. You know what I mean? They go through so much shit just to get you to buy this shit, man. They say that they do all this creepy stuff, right? But they even get governing bodies to safety governing boards, FDA, and all this stuff just to give it the approval. Just like the stabbing jab, give you the well, actually they never approved that. That's how bad that was. Never got approved, right? Emergency use only. But yeah, they set up all these different fucking organizations just to get you to buy the shit, man. To give it some sort of credit, but it's all a scam, all of it, right? They cover the bases, man. Okay, they know how to work over the people, right? So they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, right? Like I said, a lot of research has gone into these brain chips, these hand chips, and all these types of things, controlling emotions. They've done plenty of studies, right? It says both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, right? They go heavy into it. Okay. Let me get this first. It's Revelations 14 and 13 and 14. And he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. Right? So he's putting that narrative out there, that he's able to do this and do that. Like he like oh God, now he can heal anything now. Got fucking nanobots fucking repairing your body and shit. Like he like a god, he's so great. So smart. Right? And how this technology is so innovative and revolutionary, and it could change the world, it can help everybody. Yeah, that's the narratives. They want you to think of him as more than what he is. All right? So you're gonna be dazzled by what he can do, right? But the Lord was doing that stuff about all this shit, 2,000 years ago, man. With spiritual power. But people don't believe in that. That's spooky to them. The Lord never walked on water. How is that possible? Whatever, man. All right. So, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had a wound by a sword and did live. Right. So you obviously, people are going to be amazed by these so-called miracles, and you're going to trust in them. You're going to trust in what he's able to do and what he promises to do with it. And this is Matthew 24 verse 24. For there shall arise false anointeds and false prophets, and shall shew many signs and wonders. Right? Yeah, the miracles, so many signs and wonders, man. So insomuch that if it were possible, that they should deceive the very elect. So it's going to be very convincing to the majority of people. It's going to be very convincing to the majority of them. They're not going to sense the insidious side to it. They're not going to sense the double-edged sword to it. They might discuss it, like the articles, they'll discuss it, the implications of having such things, but they don't really understand what the intentions are. They're talking about possibilities, could be's, maybes, but they don't know what the intention is, what the real purpose for it is. Okay, but we know through the scriptures what the purpose is. They ain't talking about what they're fucking saying. But they're gonna put trust in Esau because he's able to do such things. So somehow, he's gonna get us through the troubled times that this world is gonna go into. Right? But he's not gonna deceive the elect, right? So if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Okay, but the elect are up on game. The Yahushai has, opened their minds to understand and see, the movements of the devil, man. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Right? So we understand what's going on, where things are going to. Okay? And what the outcome's going to be. But like I said, the majority of people out here, man, they're gonna be trusting. They're gonna trust in Esau, take his sea hips, so that they can eat. You know. With that, I'm gonna say shalom, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. So till next time, I say shalom.